Hey everyone, Dude here back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and today we're taking a look at the best decks that you can play at the Team Chronicle event, which is happening now until the end of January. So let's get started. So I'll be discussing 5 different decks that you can play in the Team Chronicle Festival, and worth noting that the Team Chronicle Festival, you can only use decks that are playable in the solo modes or that are featured in the solo mode. So a lot of popular archetypes or some meta archetypes aren't allowed. However, there are pretty cool strategies that were either once meta before or pretty cool rogue strategies that are pretty fun to play and give you a lot of pretty spicy plays or just allow you to grind the event without too much hassle. So let's get started with Megalip. So Megalip is the cheapest deck in this list. So it doesn't even have an extra deck. It doesn't need one. It's a ritual monster deck. So all the boss monsters you have here are rituals. So the standard here, 3 axe, 3 ash, 3 max, 3 axe. What was that? Anyway, so just generic hand traps, 2 called by. Actually, those are the only UR cards here. So hand traps, you can even remove them to make it even cheaper. But at least having 3 ash is fun. So Megalith is a ritual monster deck that will summon multiple Megalith monsters, and they also have a pretty good boss monster with Phaleg, who's a pretty solid beat stick. And then they have a good amount of disruption with like Hagit, Ophiel, and Ok. So yeah, they just keep summoning and summoning, and then they have Aratron, pretty powerful. You have a negate here, and to make it even more consistent, there's the incantation engine. So 3 incantation, Pensiplume, and then 1 candle, 1 talismandra, and 3 chalice lime. So for your ritual monster, for your incantations, and then of course you have to run their ritual spell incantation inception, which is searchable using the engine. And then we have 3 manju of the 10,000 hands, which allows you to just get 1 ritual monster or 1 ritual spell. So this just gets you out of a pinch. And being level 4, you can instantly use this to ritual summon level 4s. Although Megalith's tribute from hand, which is why we have Cyber Angel Benten, which is like the best ritual support card out there. There's a reason why it's limited to 1. And for the Megaliths, 2 full, 3 Ophiel, 3 Hagit, 1 Ok, 2 Phaleg, um, 2 Baitor, and 2 Aratron. And then to make your engine more consistent, there's Preparation of Rites, which allows you to get a ritual monster and add a ritual spell from the graveyard to your hand. Really handy. Megalith Portal allows you to ritual summon and um, add back to your hand whatever you tributed. Usually, you tribute other Megalith rituals to summon um, their fellow rituals, so you can retrieve them using Megalith Portal and just keep on summoning until you have a decent board. Um, Next up, we have Megalith Unformed, which is a quick play that either debuffs attack or ritual summons during your opponent's turn, which is pretty handy. And then you have Megalith Emergence, which targets 1 Megalith monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So yeah, it just allows you to recur a lot of resources. So in the end, Megalith's board is full of disruption and just gives you a lot of grind game against other decks, and it's pretty cheap. And if you're looking for an affordable deck, if you don't have that much URSR material, this is the ideal deck for you, and you might enjoy the ritual playstyle. Okay, next up is Weather Painter. So Weather Painter also has a solo gate. So Weather Painter is a control based strategy that gets annoying because You can run Dimensional Fissure, you can run Snowy Canvas, and you can run Solemn Judgment and Solemn Strike just to wreck your opponent. But yeah, Weather Painter is a pretty nice control archetype where the Weather Painter monsters banish themselves to activate the effects of their continuous spells and trap cards, and then they have a pretty decent field spell that allows them to just go crazy, and then they have boss monsters here. So for the Weather Painter archetype, you have three Weather Painter Snow, best main deck monster in the deck, in the archetype, yeah. Three Weather Painter Cloudy, which allows you to retrieve your spell and traps because you'll be using your continuous spells and traps as material sometimes. Weather Painter Sun, just one copy. And then three Weather Painter Thunder, which allows you to place one weather spell trap from your deck face up by sending another face up spell trap, a continuous one. And then one Weather Painter Aurora. So all of these just allow you to get your spells and traps on the field as fast as possible, and then when you banish them, they trigger those spells and traps. Really handy. One terraforming just to search the three field spells we have. Two Pot of Duality, so you can just excavate your deck, and one Prosperity to do the same thing. And then three Dimensional Fissure to just hinder your opponent from gaining resources in the graveyard. Three Weather Painter Snowy Canvas, one of your best face-up continuous cards here. Weather Painter Rainy Canvas, one of them. And Thundery Canvas, and then Rainbow Canvas. So just a couple. And then for generic tech, you have three Ash, two Called By just to prevent hand traps, three Evenly Match just in case you go second and you have this. This allows you to just even the odds, especially if you're since this is a control deck that's where going second is pretty difficult. So just a board breaker. As I said, three Solemn Judgment and two Solemn Strike just for powerful negates. For extra deck, one Levier the Sea Dragon because much of the Weather Painters are level 3, so you can just Xyz into this, go into Downer, and then go into Zeus. So this is your Zeus package essentially. And then for link monsters, we have generic ones like Nightmare Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn for removal. Just the usual. We have a host of Charmers, Ausa, Earth Charmer, Area the War Charmer, Gaina the Light Charmer, and Dark the Dark Charmer. So those are just pretty generic ways to get your user links just in case. I think I may have made oops. I think I may have made a mistake on adding dark. Let's see. Yeah. Hita Fire Charmer, so just have these elemental charmers so you can you can steal a couple of opponents' cards from the graveyard if they have that attribute. Hita is pretty cool because it can steal Ash and allow you to link climb into Nightmare Unicorn, which is pretty cool. Next, you have your two boss monsters, Weather Painter Rainbow and two Weather Painter Moonbow. So they just have pretty powerful effects. Moonbow banishes while Rainbow negates. So it's pretty powerful. Next up, we have Underworld Goddess. So this is just removal if you have an annoying... if you have an opponent who has an annoying boss monster that is very hard to remove, just kick it out using Goddess. Okay, let's just save that. So after Weather Painter, Megalip, we have Bee Trooper. Bee Trooper is a pretty fun link-based archetype that has a lot of interruption and can spam a lot of bodies on the field thanks to the likes of Goki Pole and Resonance Insect. So you just link climb And then you can create stuff like Appaloosa, Knight Avermax, and Invincible Atlas, their boss monster. But it's pretty fun. So for the Bs, you have Killer Needle, an old school card that is very useful in this deck, which is pretty cool. 20-year-old card, by the way. One Battle Wasp Pin the Bullseye, which is a free special summon usually. Battle Wasp Sting the Poison, which allows you to search for any of the Battle Wasps here. So you can just have two bodies here, go into something like Insector, Picofalina. Pretty great. You have two Goki Pole, which where if this gets sent to the graveyard, you can get an insect monster from your deck to hand. Always handy because well, almost every card here, your engine is insect, so you know you can pretty much get almost 80% of your monsters here. Battle was Twin Bow. Just another free special summon, and it locks you to insect, which is no problem because well, they're all insects for the most part. One scout, two scout buggy for your B Trooper archetype. Free scale bomber. And this is one of your best B Trooper starters because it allows you to have a free special summon. Like most of the Battle Wasp cards do as well. 3 Resonance Insect. If this card is sent to the field from graveyard, you can add a level 5 lower insect monster. So kind of like Goki Pole, a way to search your monsters and get your plays, extend your plays even more. Retaliating Sea. So this allows you to search Maxi as well. So just one of the reasons it's here. Really powerful. One Assault Roller, and then 2 Sting Lancer, which works like a hand trap because you can banish an insect monster in your graveyard and one monster in your opponent's graveyard, which can stop their plays, especially if you're facing something like Orcas, which is very common in the event. If you like use this against like Harp Horror, they wouldn't be able to start their Orcas plays properly. One Mighty Neptune. This allows you to go play a bit longer. This is good for a grind game, especially if you have a lot of resources in the graveyard. You can shuffle them back, so pretty powerful. One Nibiru just for a cross-out target because you might get Nibiru while doing all these combos. For the hand traps here, 2 Effect Vader, 3 Max, 3 Ash, usual. 2 Called by to stop, and cross-out 2. So 3 hand trap stoppers. 2 Infinite Permits for the B Trooper spell, B Trooper Descent. Free B Trooper token, extra material for your summon. And lastly, B Trooper Flying Sting, just a powerful counter trap, so just negate when you need it. Now for the extra deck, one Cicada King, because you have a lot of level 3s. You can go Owl Mirage just to put something in the graveyard like Goki Pole and Resonance Insect, really powerful. Insector Picofalina allows you to extend your plays, really great insect support. Nightmare package, as I said, Nightmare, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. Since you're playing a lot of links, and links are pretty much have the free reign here, except for Access Code. You can play all of those. IP Masquerena, so you can go into like Appaloosa or Avermax on your opponent's turn, which is pretty powerful. Armor Horn, your best link starter for B Trooper. Seraphim Papillon, another way to bring out a big body and recycle resources. Avermax, just a big beater that's hard to remove. Appaloosa, monster negates. And Invincible Atlas, your main boss monster, which is a pretty big body as well. Now, second to last deck that I want to show you is Crusadia. So Crusadia is one of the cheapest decks here as well. It does have couple of URs. Well, hand traps are URs and called by as you are, and then you need board breakers and reinforcement of the army. I think reinforcement of the army comes free, so that's fine, and you can get Lightning Storm in a bundle, so that's kind of neat, and you can get Imperm and Ash in a bundle as well. But yeah, Crusadia is a going second OTK strategy where you just summon Equimax, link it up, link up its arrows to increase its attack, and slam onto a monster and deal so much damage. Sometimes this can deal 10,000 or more life point damage, which is just more than enough to beat your opponents down, which is pretty cool. So if you want an OTK deck, Crusadia is pretty cool. So for the Crusadia monsters, pretty much you're running 3 of the entire archetype. 3 Reclusia. All of them have the effect where you can special summon from hand in defense position to zone your link monster points to, and every Crusadia uh, points down except for Equimax, but points down diagonally, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so 3 Reclusia, 3 Arborea, 3 Leonis, 3 Draco, 3 Maximus, and they all have other effects, but their main purpose is to allow you to link climb into Equimax, which is pretty fast, which you can do pretty quickly. And then we have parallel exceed extenders, just in case you need more bodies on field and you get stopped. Parallel exceed is really powerful. And then for removal, you have 3 Gadarga. So you just slap this on one of the monsters and you attack the Gadarga that you summoned, and you can deal crazy amounts of damage. 2 Thunder King Lightning Kaiju, 2 Jizukiru, just more Kaiju, so basically you're running like 7 Kaiju, so I think that's enough. You have 1 Heart Piece, 2 Lightning Storm for board breakers, removing back row, 1 Reinforcement of the Army because you can search Crusadia Arborea with it, and Crusadia Arborea is one of the best starters, one of the extenders that you can have. So if you have like one of the Crusadia names only, you can use Reinforcement of the Army to get Arborea, and you can get your place started easily. Crusadia Revival just to give an attack boost. Crusadia Power, just one way to protect your Crusadia monsters mid combo. And then, as I said, hand traps, Maxi, Ash Blossom, Imperm, just to keep other decks in check. Now for the extra deck, 1 Link Spider. If you get the Rude, you can use the token to summon it on your extra zone, and then it has an arrow pointing now, allowing you to summon more Crusadias. 3 Crusadia Magus, your first extra deck summon always when you're doing your OTK line. Nightmare Package, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn, as I said, and IP Masquerade, and then Avermax. So those are the carryovers from the last deck. You also have access to Update Jammer, which allows you to double attack, and Equimax with Update Jammer is pretty insane. Regulex is your other extender after you go into Magius, go into Regulex, and then you go into Equimax usually. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, if you're looking for an affordable going second deck where you don't care about coin toss that much, this is a pretty cool deck to play. Very affordable and pretty fun actually, because you throw in high damage numbers without a care very easily. And then last but not the least, I think one of the best decks in the Team Chronicle event, it's Danger Orcas. So Danger Orcas, it's kind of crazy that they have a solo gate and they're playable because this was once a meta deck, and right now it's a pretty good rogue strategy in ranked with all of the tools available in ranked. But in Team Chronicle, pretty much the entire archetype is legal to play, and then much of the extra deck is also legal except for access code, but totally fine. So let's look at the deck. So Orcus is a mid-range deck that allows you to end on like Omni Negates, Orcus Crescendo, and you can fill up your graveyard with Orcus monsters and go into Orchestrated Battle to summon and do plays on your opponent's turn. You can also use IP Masquerade to go into like a Nightmare Unicorn or Appaloosa play, which is always great. And then you have a host of Orcas extra deck monsters. I'll search the Orca spells and just fill your graveyard and go into crazy stuff. Pretty cool. You also have a small danger package, which allows you to just randomly discard Orcus monsters that may be in your hand, which can allow you to start plays and uh, unbricks you a lot of times. Now let's go with the Orcus engine. Oh, before we go that, let's just go with the staples I have here. 3 Maxi, 3 Ash, just the usual. 3 Imperm, so I maxed out on hand traps on this build just to keep everyone in check. 2 Called by, 1 Cross Out just to stop hand traps hand traps they have, so pretty cool. 2 Twin Twister for board breakers. So now let's go to the Orcas. 1 Brass Bombard, just extender in a pinch. You can, if you have 2 Orcas, including this one, you can summon Brass Bombard, turn it into Link Karibo, banish Bombard from graveyard, summon the Orcas on the field, and then you can start going into your Galatea. Really easy. 2 Simple Skeleton, revives an Orcus in the graveyard. Always handy. You can revive like Galatea to go into Dingirsu. Or you can even use it to revive Dingirsu himself. Pretty neat. Next up we have 2 Harp Horror. Now you wish it was a 3, but Harp Horror is your main starting monster. It allows you to special summon any Orcus monster from your deck. Except for itself. But usually you go into Girsu Orcus Mech Knight, which sends another Orcus to graveyard. Usually you can use Orcus Nightmare with that. Orcus Nightmare can banish itself, boost the attack of another monster, and then send another monster to graveyard. So pretty cool. And then World Legacy World 1 allows you to retrieve just your banished monsters. So you can banish this to special summon one of your banished monsters. You can bring back Harpour to restart your combos or have more resources on after your opponent's turn, which is pretty great. And then for the Orcus or World Legacy cards, World Legacy Succession is Monster Reborn, but it points to a link zone, so always handy. Great extender. Because you always have a monster in the graveyard to summon. So pretty cool. Or in a pinch, you can resummon your Galatea or Dingirsu as well. Orchestrated Return. Discard 1 Orchestra World Legacy monster and draw 2. This is also a great way to start your play if you have like only Harp Horror and Orchestrated Return. You can discard Harp Horror, draw 2, and if you draw any Orcus name or an extender, you can just start your combo, and then you can go Orcus Harp Horror, 2 bodies on field, go into Galatea. Always great. Orchestrated Babel just enables your Orcus graveyard effects to become a quick effect when it's up on the field, which allows you to go into which allows you to trigger Topologic Bomber Dragon on your opponent's turn and wipe the field. Very handy. And then 1 Orcus Crescendo generic Omni Negate that banishes the card it negates. Very powerful, very cool. Also has a graveyard effect where you can return one of your banished Dark Machine monsters, so you can retrieve any of the Orcus monsters you used in the graveyard and back to the hand. For extra deck, 2 Dingirsu. So Dingirsu allows you to send 1 card to the graveyard. It's not a destruction effect, so it bypasses those. You can also grab one of the banished Orcus cards as material. So you have 2 materials. You can protect from destruction, which is really, really powerful. Link Karibo is here just for Brass Bombard, which is not bad. It's pretty good. Nightmare Package, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. Just generic removal. 2 Galatea allows you to search your Orcus spells and traps. IP Masquerade to go into maybe Topologic Bomber Dragon and Appaloosa of the Goddess. Lib the World Key Blade Master. You can use Lib to search World Legacy Succession and go into a link tree, which can be Longirsu or Nightmare Unicorn. Dart is the same purpose. You can grab a dart from opponent's graveyard to go into link tree, so might be really important for shuffling back a card. And Longirsu allows you to uh, recycle your banished Orcas monsters to remove to shuffle back opponent's monsters if they point to Longirsu's arrows, which is kind of a niche effect, but pretty good when it resolves. Topologic Bomber Dragon, so if another monster is special summoned to a zone a link monster points to, it will destroy all monsters in the main monster zones. This is not once per turn, so whenever anything gets summoned under its arrows, it's pretty powerful. And then, if this card attack an opponent's monster, it can inflict damage equal to your opponent's monster's original attack. So, pretty good beat stick, really powerful, and pretty funny when it works. Appaloosa, generic monster negate, and Underworld Goddess, just a powerful removal. And I guess there you have it. 5 decks that you can play in the Team Chronicle event. And this event is pretty interesting because it allows other archetypes in the solo gates, which are not used as much in rank, except for stuff like Orcas, to get more time in the sun and be playable in at least one event, which is pretty cool. B Troopers and Orcas have had their time in the sun, but it's nice to see a lot of other decks get more love. And events like this really help, so that's pretty fun. And if you like this video, you can leave a like, share the video, subscribe. That would be great for helping my channel grow. If you have any suggestions on decks that you want to use or decks that other people might want to use in Team Chronicle, hit me up in the comment section below. That's pretty cool. There's so many other decks that I have not mentioned, but these are the 5 decks that I would like to give more attention to during this event. But that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. So guys, goodbye and thank you so much.